Good morning, you all. Thank you for joining us for our year-end clearance on stigma. My name is Jamarian Harden, HIV Prevention Coordinator here at CARE4ME Services. We have
Maurice Mosley.
Anthony Gordon.
All right, Maurice, tell me a little bit about what you do here at CARE4ME.
Well, my name is Maurice Mosley once again. I am the C-Step Coordinator here at CARE4ME Services. What I do is, when we go out on the mobile, I draw the blood. You know, the HIV test, so they do the finger pricks. I have to go in the arm and find the vein and draw the blood. So yeah, that comes with, I have phlebotomy experience, and I've been in this arena for about 2 years now. So I've seen a lot of stuff, so that's a summary about me.
And yourself, Mr. Gordon?
I am a program specialist for CARE4ME Services. I'm pretty much a floater, so wherever they need me, that's where I'll be. But mostly I do community planning and work for the community.
Okay. So let's jump right on into it, you all. We're talking about stigma in the community and how it relates and how it, originates and what problems we have in the community as it regards to stigma. And one thing I see in the community when we talk about stigma is the younger generation being affected by how the older generation, so to speak, may feel about them doing certain things when it comes to being tested and, being in the community and coming to different events and coming to different things that impacts the community and brings the community together as a whole. The younger generation feel like they're not welcome sometimes. So what do you feel like, or what do you all feel like go on, or how do you think that's an impact, and how do you think we could change that to make them feel, appreciated or like they do belong in the community?
You want to take it?
Well, I would say that a lot of the older generation, they jump on the kids' backs. Instead of guiding them, they talk down to them. And say, well, this is what we used to do back in the day, or in my time, or in my day. But this is a new generation. The new generation was raised a little bit differently than we were. So in order to gain the trust and the interest of the younger generations, we need to talk to them and not at them.
Gotcha. So basically, you're basically saying, meet them what they are. Meet them where they are.
Meet them pretty much where they are.
Okay. Sounds good. What about you?
Well, for one, that was a great question you asked. Well, to me, I feel like it's all kind of generational. Like, I know back in the people in front of us, the generation before, back in their day, like, as far as testing wise, if you go say you feel like you need to go get tested, they might be like, ooh, or what you been doing, or something like that. So I just feel like they only know what they were taught. So I feel like we need to start, it could start with us.
Yeah.
We just need to be more of a comfortable topic, like not hindering somebody for trying to know their status. It just need to be more comfortable.
Right. A lot of people are scared to find out their status. If they don't know, it don't affect them.
Yeah.
In reality, it really does affect them, because it could be that moment that'll save your life or take you out.
Of course.
Exactly.
So,
Right. And that's just sometimes when I'm on the mobile and I'm thinking about different stuff, I have to go back to like when I'm out in public and, being at places where lots of straight people are, or being at places where a lot of gay people are, or LGBTQ community, you have different people that have different perspectives, so to speak. And Maurice probably could vouch for me when I talk about this. You have a lot of heterosexual people that if you're coming around them talking about, getting tested and things like that, they don't want to hear it. Exactly. It's like you feel like because you're straight, you're prone to it, or you can't, get this HIV, or it can't happen to you. And we just need everybody to know, or in the community as a whole and around the world, that it's not a LGBTQIA plus thing. This is everybody's thing. This is a people's thing. So Maurice, when you're in the community and you see things and you see people of heterosexual experience and things like that, or people that we think are heterosexual, how do you sway those positions, or how do you sway them to get tested? Or how do you promote them to feel better about being who they are and getting tested and being able to outreach the, people that they hang out with to bring them in?
Oh, that was a great question. Well, I feel like being in the heterosexual community, I feel like as far as men, you know how men are, man. I know myself. I don't go to the doctor or nothing. If I'm sick, I know I'm gonna find a way. But I feel like we need to make it more common, because most men, when you dealing with multiple females and all that, if most females, they good about going to get tested. So if you dealing with a female and they're going to get tested and they say they're good, you like, okay, I'm good too. I ain't gotta go. But nah, that ain't the case. Sometimes they symptoms might not show up, and yours, they might not. You know, it's a period where it don't show.
Right.
So that's why I feel like it just need to be more education. That's why I kind of try to talk to my friend guys or whatnot, tell them like, hey man, it's serious out here. I done seen it. I done seen some people come with no symptoms and leave sad. Like it's real out here. It's a real world.
So doing this work, I know you said you do this work. You've been doing this work for 2 years. Doing this work, have your friends or anybody that you hang around that are heterosexual, do they look at you any different because you're in the work and you're trying to, man, I don't want to do that. I know you work, but I ain't trying to do all that. Like, do you get those responses? You know?
Well, not often, because like I said, I've been doing this for a while now. Kind of pretty much everybody know what I'm doing. But yeah, when I first started, it's been a couple of times where people like, oh, I know what this where you work, you do this. I'm like, yeah, this is what I do, man. And still to this day, when I meet people and I tell them, they like, so what you do for a living? I be like, man, you really want to know? Because if I tell you, you might feel some type of way knowing you haven't been tested in years. Like, you might be like, man, he might be trying, you might be watching. It just that comes with stigma too.
I would say that's a part of
That's
stigma, because
example.
you know they're stigmatizing you because of where you work. You know, or you may have friends, and we experience this going out in the community. You know, on Saturday nights when we're out, you may have people that don't want to get tested or don't want to come around because you know them from being out, and you also work in the field of HIV. So we have that part of it where it's like, okay, how do I reach this person and actually still work in the field and actually still have my fun too, without them feeling like, you know, you're trying to out them or watch them and see what they're doing. You know,
it's pretty much about them being outed.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, they'll come get tested, but they don't want their results to be out there. If I have something or I have something going on, I want to be the one to let my partner know. You know what I'm saying? Or if somebody find out that you had tested positive for this, that, or the third, you know what I'm saying? Going around people, it just make you seem like you're just in a whole nother headspace. So to cut down on that stigma, you know, it's just, they just got to come in, get tested, and talk to people and let the counselors tell them, you know what I'm saying, guide them through the process.
I feel like most people don't even know the process that you go through to get tested. Like, it's not that hard. Like, you know,
it's not hard at all.
We do with the paperwork and everything, we'll get you in and out 5 minutes.
Yeah, but the biggest thing, like I said, the biggest thing is fear.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, because they don't want to find out that they got something.
Right.
Exactly.
That's the biggest issue.
Right. And it goes back to, like you said, fear. And it's the fear of the unknown. What if? You know, we're always what if, or it's free.
It's free.
And you know, we're giving you money to come know your status.
Exactly.
Like it don't get any easier than that. You know, I'm giving you $10, $20 to know what your health is.
What
you
your
know?
health is.
So I think with that itself, it's a push to like, okay, let me go see what, and this $20, I can go get me a double cheeseburger from McDonald's. You know, something, you know, and I know my status too.
And
you
it's
know,
all confidential.
And then goes back to what Maurice was saying, is that women get tested or go to the doctor more regularly than men.
Right.
But that's been an age-old thing. Like back in the day, a lot of men didn't go to doctors. A lot of people don't trust doctors. You know what I'm saying? Because of situations that has happened in the past.
That stigma is
You know what I'm saying? So in order to get these new kids into the habit of being tested, you know, we have to really just sit them down and let them know, you know what I'm saying, what's really out here, because they done took sex education out of the classrooms, out of the schools. So they don't know, you know what I'm saying, what's all going on out there. They hear it, but they haven't seen it firsthand.
Exactly.
Right. And I know we do a lot of testing and, things like that going out. Of course, like I said, meeting the community where they are, setting up at different places. When we do that, the outcomes are big. In my experience, being here at CARE4ME Services and, being around in the HIV, field and stuff like that, actually, I would say most of the time, even when we're on the street, maybe in the park, Pondexter Park, and by the train station and things like that, you have people that bring people with them so that they can feel comfortable. And you've also seen in instances sometimes, where you may have a person that tested positive. And because you threw out, we were giving the incentive, they just wanted, they wanted the incentive, so they wanted to know as well. So when I say that, I say that it's not sometimes that they're not always sad, so to speak, and who's to say most of them sometimes don't already know.
True.
So I think we have a system in place, and I think the system is good to where we can get them okay and get them to not look so differently when you come off the mobile, getting your results, to where you won't be looked at like, oh, what that girl got? Oh, she just came from, so that cracks down on all of that. And then you also have this instant where we're like, okay, shut it down. Somebody's hurting.
Okay.
Shut it down. That's it. Because we're not here to make you hurt.
Right.
We're here to help you. Ultimately, the goal here is to help. The goal here is to prevent, move on, get you treated, get you tested, so you can go with your everyday life.
Right.
That's the goal.
Right.
Do that happen? Not all the time. But how can we as healthcare providers, professionals, people of the community do better by what we're doing to try to reach the community? How can we break the stigma of someone wanting to come and get tested, but scared because I seen Anthony Gordon at Saturday night at City Lights?
Right.
Or seen Maurice at M-Bar. I don't want to come get tested because,
Yeah.
So how can we break that,
I feel like we can do it. We could do it by social media for one. We could show them like the process it takes, like how in and out it is when you actually coming up here to do the test.
Yeah.
It's a quick process and everything is confidential. We're not gonna look at you no different type of way or tell nobody your status. It's only up to you to tell your status. We can't disclose that. So yeah, I feel like we could start by kind of making a quick tutorial, kind of something like that, like walk through showing you the actual process. Because I know being in that long line and hold on, what's taking so long? It's a process. It's a million things going through your head before you go up there, especially when you don't know.
Right.
And see, me, I've always been a person. And this may be the old grandmother in me. I've always wanted to educate a person.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how can you get tested for something that you don't even know what it is?
Exactly.
How do you know how this affects your body, or how do you know how you even got this? We speak condom, but it's so many ways you can get HIV and so many different, protocols and things like that. Let's educate you on how and what it is, so we can get you tested and you will know what you have and how can you take care of yourself more better so you can educate others.
Right. And to piggyback off what you said, I was at an event last week where we had a lot of kids between the ages of like 18 and 25. And one of the young men put his head down when we were showing the slides of different symptoms of diseases like syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and stuff like that. And he put his head down, and I was like, he talking about, wake me up when all these pictures gone. And I was like, no, sir, you got to hold your head up because you need to know what to look for. you know, you need this education. And by you not looking at it, you might have a bump, a pimple, a sore. Or not, you need to know these things in order to see if you are right. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not getting tested, it's still some symptoms that will show and some won't. But you know, if you see something, you know, and you unfamiliar with what it is, then you should, you know what I'm saying, use that incentive to go and get tested.
Right, of course.
So you must pay attention to the education that we're trying to give you, because this might one day save you or somebody else from being infected or affected about, I mean, from these different diseases that are out here.
Yeah, because I know it, with me, it's just, if I got a bump on my head, I'm scared. I'm like, well, what's going on? What's going on? I didn't go to see what this. What's going on? You know, something is here.
What's going on?
Right. What Miss Davis having that slideshow again?
Yeah, like what's really going on?
Right.
You know, but that comes with being cautious with your body.
Right.
And that comes with knowing your body. You know, and that comes with taking care of your body. You know, if you're not taking care of your body, you don't know what to look for when it's unreal or unnoticed. You know, you can't notice something that you don't know about. You know, and you know that's why when with my 3MV stuff that I have going on, I always try to ask questions before the video started. Okay, what do you know about this? What do you know about HIV? How do you think syphilis affects you? And you know what can you do to prevent it? Most of the time, we're always talking about a condom. Okay. But when it comes to your mouth, most people might not know they make dental dam for you to put on, you know, for oral. Or like the condoms. Most people don't know that those flavor condoms are for oral sex, you know? So, Maurice, like with you and your friends, you know, a lot of men like to do oral sex. You know, they do. So how with the flavored condoms and the condoms that are used for oral sex, how are you able to promote those, to give them those and let them know that that's what they should use to take precautions, you know, for any STIs, STDs, such as syphilis?
Well, it's funny you asked that. We had went and talked to a basketball team in the area a couple of weeks ago, actually, and we were telling them about the condoms, and you'll be amazed how many people don't know how to put on a condom correctly. Yeah. But that's besides the point. But yeah, we pulled this out. We were like, y'all know what this is? They were like, what's that? We were like, this dental dam. What? We were like, that what you put over when you doing, or they were like, oh, we need a couple of them. Yeah. So most people don't know. Like I said, most people just don't know. It's just, you just don't know. Like I didn't know about that until I got here, and I was like, hold on, dental dam.
Yeah. And well, you know, the dentist actually gives it to you. Like,
really?
Yeah, normally when you go to the dentist and they do your cleaning and stuff, they'll put it, I think it's like grape or something, they'll put it in the bag. They have different flavors, like grape.
I never knew that.
Strawberry, and they'll put it in the bag with your toothbrush and your toothpaste.
Yeah,
you know?
I learned about dental dam a long time ago, mostly from watching TV. You know, so
they have TV shows that talk about dental dam. Okay, so tell us a couple names of the TV shows.
I can tell you a couple of names about of the TV shows that talk about dental dam. But, you know, I like comedies, so it was like...
But the education is there.
But the education is there.
So in 2023, we're just going to normalize that the education is there.
It's there.
We just have to be people that are cautious and being precautious about what we have to do to be safe and secure in the world today. You know, that's what it boils down to. It just boils down to you want to take care of your body. You want to do the things or to take the necessary precautions that you need to take to be safe and to have these safe sex, you know, and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, don't nobody want to worry about it. But what are we going to do to stop it from spreading? You know, how can we break the stigma?
Right.
The education is there. I feel like it's kind of discreet sometimes, though. I know I seen that commercial, True Vital, Disco. I done seen it a million times. I never knew that was PrEP until I got here and I heard about PrEP.
Right.
And most people don't know about PrEP as well. We just need to do better as a whole, educating people. But it kind of started with the school system as well, because they took sexual health out of the school system. So it's kind of like a sensitive topic. And you know, most parents, they don't want their kids talking about that because They don't want to indulge in.
But
Right.
but them not talking about it don't mean that they're not doing it.
Exactly.
They're having sex.
They just hiding it.
You know, they're
And they
having
could be
sex.
doing it the
so you
wrong
might
way.
As well, right.
And you can
might
teach
as
them the
well
right way.
Teach them the right
Yeah.
way instead of letting them do it the wrong way, hoping that your child ain't out here doing that, because 9 times out of 10, your child is out here doing that.
Right. Rather be safe than sorry.
So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's up to the parents. I understand healthcare professionals and providers, you know what I'm saying, try to educate the young adults about, you know, different diseases and stuff out here. But the ultimate teacher is your parent when it comes to sexual activities, because your parents have had sexual activities. Your parents are older than you, so they know what's going on. They know what's out here. So instead of educating you, they're just they just want to pretend like my child not doing that. And that's not the safe route to take. Educate them so they'll know for when they, you know, get older, and they can tell their friends, and their friends can tell their friends, and so on and so forth.
Well, I think sometimes it is told. One of the biggest things that I hear sometimes when someone of the community is coming out to their family, the first thing family member may say is, be careful. And that's that educational piece without saying it about HIV.
Right.
You know, it's always be careful.
But I also look at that as a sign of stigma as well.
Yeah, because
you wouldn't tell a straight person
to be careful. Exactly. So
you know what I'm saying? But you, just because I came out as LGBTQIA plus, is be careful.
Is be careful.
So that's also
definitely
a sign of stigma.
Right.
Definitely
And that's,
stigma.
you know, I never forget, I was talking to one of my friends one day, and he was telling me about one of his stories or whatever, about coming out or whatever. And he was saying how when his mom was telling him to be careful, she was telling them about one of the uncles. But it's always, well, we didn't know he had this, but we come to find out he passed from this, you know. And, you know, you normally have, you know, people of the community when they're coming out, the mom is always telling them about an uncle that had, you know, HIV, and nobody knew he had it until he passed. And, you know, now that's, well, be careful. But I mean,
yeah,
you know, what you mean? What is that? You just tell me be careful. You're not telling me how to get this.
What to be careful from?
You know, you're not telling me. You're not telling me
Yeah.
what to look out for. You're not.
what to
How
do.
to avoid, how to.
You're just saying be careful.
Don't know
Okay.
nothing about PrEP, none of that. PrEP, none of it.
None of it. None of it. Just be careful.
Just be careful.
Be careful, Anthony. You know, just be careful. You know, but what else? You know, and you know, that it's just mind blowing sometimes of the stories that you hear. Even working here, you know, with people getting on the mobile. You know, you may have a homeless person, and it's just mind blowing. You know, at the stories they tell you and the things that they say. You know, about HIV, and you know how they're keeping themselves safe. You know, you got to think about it. You have a homeless person. How are you gonna tell a homeless person to be careful and be safe? You know, they're homeless.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the toughest part about it.
That's you know, that's just a lot in itself.
Somebody-
How can you know?
It's only so many places they can go to. Opportunity Center, all these other places.
And that's why sometimes, like you said, I know you said about the mobile, but that's why that mobile is a piece. I tell you, we ride down the highway. I'm telling you, we were on Woodrow Wilson a couple of months ago. One girl, we was on Capitol Street. That was my first time going out on the mobile when we went out to Capitol Street. And this lady, she came and she got tested or whatever. And this same lady, I don't know how she got on Woodrow Wilson that fast.
Yep.
Cause she walked to the mobile, so I still get in the cop with nobody. I don't know how she got, you know where that fish place used to be right there on Woodrow Wilson? Mm-hmm. She was right there. You remember we had passed by there, and she was, hey, you know, like, how did you get over here from Capitol Street, across the street from the zoo,
They be watching that mobile.
this
man.
fast? But that, I said it to say that mobile is a piece that keeps people coming because of what we have to offer.
Yeah,
You know,
that's how I
you don't
come.
have a lot of places here that are offering incentives or offering this for you to do this.
And then we
Right.
right in the middle of all of it.
Right, but what we need to try to get away from is offering incentives. People need to know their health statuses,
Okay.
even without having to have an incentive.
Okay. And I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna wrap it on up. But and I understand what you're saying, but that's when we come in as a team and try to strategize. What can we do to bring the community or reach the community without the incentives? Because they know that when they see us, or they know that when they see someone, I'm getting this to know my health status. So how can we break giving incentives when that's kind of the name that you have to get your job done?
I mean, incentives is a good marketing tool. I agree, it's a good marketing tool. But me want to know what I have going on internally in my body, it would give me a free mind to know what I have going on instead of somebody having to pay me just so I can know what's going on.
Yeah, I got you.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like incentive is a good tool, but like he said, he's like him being at ease with knowing his status. Some people are at ease with not knowing, like, man, I don't.
Yeah, like that.
Ain't no telling what they find.
They go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just feel like, man, we need help from people that are big in the community so they can show them that it's okay. It ain't nothing to be scared of.
right.
Well, you all, this conversation has been lovely.
Yeah.
You know, the time has come. You know, thank you all for joining me for our year-end stigma conversation. I hope that, you know, some minds and hearts have been reached on today. And, you know, when we come back, hopefully we'll be able to talk more about incentives and how can we change that piece of the work to get the word out more often, you know, to get more people involved.
Right.
All right.
Closing remarks.
I'm Jamarian Harden. You all, thank you for joining us. You know, got Maurice and, of course, Anthony here. And, you know, we're the staff at CARE4ME Services trying to reach the community every day. Thank you all.